You know, if every child could be as outgoing as our daughter was, the world would probably be a lot better place. If everybody was as caring as she was, you know, things could be a lot better for a lot of people. She was an outstanding person with her friends, with her family, with everyone. You know, she was a star for everybody, I think.
At 12 years old, Caitlyn MacKenzie was known for her big smile and big dreams. She had lots of friends to go with her extended family.
One of the most outgoing, caring, loving people that I've ever come across myself. She was just a very unique spirit.
I was really sick when I was pregnant, and she was just the sweetest girl. She would always kind of anticipate if I wasn't feeling good, and she would bring me a cold washcloth, and she'd lay next to me, and it'll be okay.
She loved working with children and often talked of being a teacher, perhaps in special education. Her bright future was shattered as night fell after a day of swimming at the home of a family friend.
It was about 9 o'clock, so he had a homemade floodlight sitting out pointing at the pool so they can, you know, go ahead and swim and not step on anything and hurt themselves when they got out. She got out, went to dry herself off, went to grab the lamp to turn it onto the trampoline so they can go ahead and jump. My understanding of what medically happened was when she went and grabbed the lamp, it was a low-grade electrocution, which conducted straight up her arm, and it just collected in her heart.
And we're racing to the hospital, and we actually caught up with the ambulance, and the whole time I kept telling him, Scott, she's going to be okay. People don't die from electrocution anymore. It was just a regular outlet. She's going to be fine.
The only thing I knew about electrocution was that it didn't come from a 110. We got there at the hospital the same time the ambulance did, and when they pulled her off, I didn't want to believe it, but I had a feeling that she might already be gone just from the look on her face. I was just on my knees in the corner praying. I didn't know what else to do. Never thought from a simple household electrical outlet that something like this could happen. Not in a million years.
No. No. You know, you think it would never happen. That can't happen to me. You know, Caitlyn's too good of a kid for bad things to happen. It does.
Where it really hit me was the day we buried her, and it really felt like a surreal nightmare. We were driving home, and in the park where we had our candlelight vigil, they were having a fun days. And there's all these families having fun, and I just remember looking at them and being so envious, and at the same time, like, look at how normal they are and how normal their lives are, and our lives are just shattered, and we now have to try to pick up the pieces and live again.
You don't want to lose your children like this. You don't want to lose your children at all, and do whatever you can to keep it from happening.
Caitlyn's family is now dedicated to preventing electrical accidents in her memory. To make people aware of the importance of using ground fault circuit interrupters, or GFCIs, on outlets outside as well as inside the home near sinks and wet areas. And more than that, they seek to promote knowledge of how to stay safe around electricity.
Knowing the way I felt and still feel going through this is not something I'd wish on anybody else at all. So if I can use this to educate others and inform others, hey, this may be in the back of your mind, but believe me, it was mine also, but now it's in the forefront. I want to let as many people know, be careful, learn, teach, because I don't want this to happen to anyone else.
Working with the Safe Electricity Program, they've helped to create the TLC Public Service Campaign. In it, they urge people to teach what you know, learn what you need to, and care enough to share it with those you love.
You need to be smart around electricity, and I wish we really had drove that point home, because Caitlyn knew it, but I don't think we talked about it regularly enough. Not like, you tell your kids don't talk to strangers, don't look both ways before you cross the road, all that kind of stuff. But how many times did we tell her, be careful when you plug in plugs or flip on switches or mess with electricity.
If you're not educated about electrical safety yourself, become educated and educate your children, your grandchildren, nieces, nephews, anybody that you can, to keep this from happening to their families, because I would never wish this upon anyone. ever.
For Caitlyn's sake, use the resources on the Safe Electricity website and heed her family's plea to educate others.
This is our daughter, Caitlyn MacKenzie.
She lost her life in an electrical accident.
We miss her.
We never thought something like this would happen to our family.
For Caitlyn's sake, give your kids some TLC. Teach what you know, learn what you need to, and care enough to share it with those you love. Teach your kids about electrical safety.
To learn more, visit safeelectricity.org.